Welcome back to my channel, everyone. It is Christy here doing the weekly reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We'll be using the Wisdom of the Oracle for our main spread today, and then as always drawing cards from the Healing with the Angels Oracle and the Medicine cards here. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the week of October 31st through to November 7th. Going to do a little bit of a focus around loving the self. As you might remember from last week, we were looking at issues regarding some changes in your life, basically. We were looking at what we needed to let go of. And I do like to switch it up a little bit. If you have any ideas or suggestions about what you'd like readings to focus around on a particular week, you can add that in the comments below. In the meantime, let's get started. This is a general reading for your sign, so whatever is most prominent in your life this week, Aries, I encourage you to take these messages and apply them to, and hopefully you find these helpful and healing. So what does Aries need to know about loving the self? Wow, another spectacular looking week ahead for you, Aries. I just feel, just having read for you for now several months weekly, that either you've done or are in the process of doing a lot of healing work in your own life, or even, I would even suggest, if not healing or you're not looking at it as healing work, that it's very definitely gratitude work and it's producing healing in your life. So if that's the case, congratulations, because it looks like that gratitude, the attitude of gratitude is paying off and things are looking pretty nice. You're feeling confident, comfortable, very possibly or probably in your personal power, okay? So whatever that means to you, ultimately it's very positive. So personal power just means what you're able to express freely and genuinely is being welcomed. And your connections are gaining strength, or you feel stronger connections with your loved ones. So that's beautiful to see as well. So here for the week with regard to loving the self, it looks like, just in a general sense with regard to all the cards, it looks like you have this sense of acceptance finally. Maybe you've been really hard on yourself for any length of time. Maybe you've really found it hard to forgive yourself about something. Maybe you have found it really difficult to look at a part of yourself that you didn't want to face for whatever reason. We've all been there. But you've made it. You've pushed past those boundaries, if not very recently, in the recent past, and it is definitely paying off for you. It looks like you've just been able to shed what hasn't been working for you, and with love, like not like, I'm shedding it, but I'm going to secretly think about it all the time. Like whatever you've let go of that was a burden or, a mental or emotional headache, you've released, and you've released it with love. And that just means that you've let it go and you're at peace with it. So a really big release for you around that type of self-love energy. And you're just able to enjoy yourself and your life and the people around you even more. So that's very beautiful to see. Let's get into each individual card and look at why I would have sort of summarized these cards together that way. Here, representing you in poised is in the position representing you is the poised card. And of course, this is really just acceptance, right? This is self-acceptance, knowing the self, not running from things that are difficult that, again, you've put off for a long time, but all of us do. But you've made a point of doing this because you recognize in some level that that's the only way to get peace, right? You know, we say a lot of times that we got to walk through the fire to find what we're really made of, essentially. And it's not easy. And for that, you know, for that reason, and it can be very painful and it's not easy, most of us try to put it off, okay? But even on that level, it doesn't look like you've given yourself a hard time about that either. Even if you had to put it off, there's this sense of, you know, I'm ready to do it now. And what I did put off, I did the best that I could at the time, but you recognize that you're capable of something more now, or recently you're capable of something more, and you feel it. So this is just a beautiful sensation to be in, and you can see she's got her wings expanded. She's leaping on what looks like a very small area here. So there's a great deal of faith in yourself that, you know, you can carry yourself through anything. And there's also a lot of hope in this card. You'll see that some of the coloration here is golden. There's some stars falling down on her. She sort of feels she's free from something here. So a great deal of self-confidence showing through here. And that's a beautiful feeling to have no matter what's going on in your life. Here with the influence to your current position is to the sea. Now, remarkably, especially with a fire sign, so Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, I mean, you're pretty determined, and not that you put blinders on, but if you have a direction, you're pretty much like, woe be to anyone who gets in your way. You're sort of like going to pile drive through it. But whatever's going on with regard to your current situation that you're applying this to this week, we're looking at a go with the flow mentality. And this could very much be part of what is not only lending a sense of gratitude, right? Not in terms of, you know, not expecting as much or not expecting the same types of things that you used to, and then feeling freer because of it, or even having a sense of humor about it. But to the sea, being go with the flow is such a relief. There's a sense here that you can trust yourself, again, here with faith and trust in yourself. And that if there is a difficult time or a difficult position or situation, you know you can get through it. This is sort of stress-free, right? There's this sense of not worrying, not anticipating trouble or rough waters, so to speak. The only reason why it would be a little bit murky in the background is because you don't want to spend all of your time going with the flow, right? I mean, you want to have a direction. You want to take a position. You want to stay active and keep challenging yourself. But here, especially with regard to, in terms of loving the self, right? Accepting and having faith and letting things go. This is a really beautiful card to have and an influence to a lot of self-confidence here. And moving on to the last card being your probable outcome. These sort of showed up together. So I'm going to treat this as an influence to the probable outcome, which is happy, happy. This is literally the celebration card. Perhaps you have a family member who's got a birthday or an anniversary or some type of celebration within your vicinity that this is speaking to directly. Like everything's going well for you, things feel lovely, but you happen to have a party to go to. This could be speaking to that directly. On the other hand, things are feeling so good and you're kind of pumped up, right? You have this sort of faith and this, this joie de vivre, this undefeatable spirit that, nothing can get you down type of thing, that we're looking at that being the celebration. Here we have some of the more free things that we can think of, right? Like confetti and hummingbirds, which also represent joy, right? So joy and freedom. And she's got flowers in her hair and she's got confetti and streamers and of course balloons, the ultimate symbol of celebration. Another thing that could be happening here that you may be conscious or unconscious of is something is growing within. There's a development within that is leading you to something higher here. So even if that's unknown at this time, you could even feel it. You could even have an intuition at this time that, I feel like something really good is around the corner. I feel like something really great is going to happen, even on top of an already occurring celebration. This is like the birth of something, like the birth of an idea or a personal growth situated here. And of course, the whole thing is balanced on a huge mandala. So we're looking at very spiritual matters here. And it could just be that your spiritual self or your emotional self is becoming so enlivened and so fulfilled that it actually feels like a celebration. And believe me, people around you are feeling this as well. So it's very easy to share. Here with soulmates being the influence to the happy card. This is such a gorgeous card for you. And, and I don't remember every single reading, but I do remember a theme for you since reading for you since April. And, soulmates comes up a lot. I would say at least once monthly for my Aries viewers. So you really feel connected here. You really feel like you have a partner, a soulmate. Again, if this is romantic in your life, fantastic. But as I always say, it doesn't have to be. If you have a best friend, it could be a family member. It could even be a non-human. You know how our animal friends feel like family. So whoever is in your life that you feel exceptionally enlivened by, and you feel like you're growing because of this other person or being in your life, that is a very significant relationship, okay? Whether someone else sees it or knows it or not, it's very significant to you. And likewise to them, you're very, very important to them. And they need you as much as you need them. It could also be another level of this celebration itself, is just maybe just coming to terms with how truly fortunate you both really are to have each other and to be at this phase of life together. Here with yin as the general energy to the whole week. Yin is the feminine or receptive portion of the yin-yang symbol. As we know, that's the black and white ancient Chinese symbol. It's merely just a portion of a whole, okay? So very definitely another individual or another part of yourself. It could even be if no one external to you is in your life, for example, and this is strictly about you, this could be about two different parts of yourself, okay? For example, the business side of you and the playful side of you, right? So if there is no external individual in your life, fret not. This is really just a beautiful aspect of how you're presenting yourself. Also, being receptive is very, very powerful, particularly for fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, because your fire is about action, right? It's about taking action. It's about quickness. Very often, even quick to anger, quick to forgive is another sort of a MO for fire signs. This is a beautiful position for you to be in, particularly this week during a celebration here, because you get to accept, okay? You're not going or trying to create something or trying to move. You're not trying to make something happen. You're letting things be and you're seeing what comes of it and you're enjoying that. So I'm very, very happy to see that for you, Aries. Let's just get a couple more cards here and see what the Healing with the Angels has to say about loving the self this week. I also want to take a quick moment and thank all of my subscribers. I just hit 2,000 subscribers this week and I'm over the moon. So I really appreciate everyone who watches, everyone who subscribes, and I love doing these for you. So I really appreciate you watching. So thank you so much for your faith in me. Here with playfulness, look at how gorgeous this is. You can't even make this up. First of all, we've got babies, we've got cherubs, angels. We've got this sort of sense of freeing, lifting, beauty, even a sense of majesty. I mean, everything, any age of individual around a baby. There's something that shifts in us, right? There's something that sort of takes over. We sort of, we sort of crouch down. We get small again. We get, everything's really innocent again. And this is a really beautiful theme as well. This could also represent the infant regarding your sign. Aries being the first sign in the zodiac does represent the infant self, as opposed to, say, Pisces, which represents the aged and dying self at the other end of the spectrum. So there could be something very new going on here for you, or the beginning phase of something for you with regard to playfulness and excitement. going to get another card here from this deck. If we don't get one in the next couple of shuffles, I'll draw one for you. But if you've been watching for a while, you'll know that I'm a massive fan of jumper cards. So tend to just shuffle until something jumps. There we are. Look at this. Listen, before I even read this for you, Aries, if you have a second, can you just comment below and let me know if this feels like what's going on for you? Because I'm genuinely curious to know, are things feeling this great for you? We've got Grace being the final card for you. Now, Swan, representing Grace, also could represent, in my opinion, the Ace of Cups in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. Of course, the Ace of Cups is about divinity. It's about the overflowing of emotions. It's about having more than enough. And it's about, feeling graceful, feeling like you're absolutely where you're supposed to be at the right time and with the right person. So, or doing the right things that are just right for you, and just feeling totally confident and just, easygoing, just going with the flow, feeling good about things, maybe for the first time in a long time or even ever, God forbid, that you're able to enjoy practically everything around you. So really beautiful to see for you. And as I mentioned, comment below if you have a second. And because it's one of the last few free things in the world, why don't you subscribe to my channel today? That way you get updates for all your weekly readings, and I'll be uploading face-to-face videos with other astrological and tarot readings for you. In the meantime, take great care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.